So in this video, we will learn how to create new leads in Kartra for new rows in Google Sheet. Now suppose you are using Kartra to manage or add all of your new leads, and from multiple sources you are adding the details of a new leads into a Google Sheet. Now basically manually adding leads from Google Sheet to Kartra can be very much repetitive and time consuming. So basically you can automate this complete process, and the trigger of this automation will be new row addition or addition of new leads in Google Sheet, and the action will be the addition of those same leads as a new lead in Kartra. So guys, how you can set up this automation? To know this, you have to come with me to my screen.
So first of all, we will go to a browser and search for Pabbly, pabbly.com/connect. And after reaching to the landing page of Pabbly Connect, by clicking on sign up free, you can create your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. Or if you already have an account, just click on sign in. So I will sign into my account, and as we click on sign in, we will reach to this all apps page of Pabbly. And here we just have to click on access now below Pabbly Connect. Now after clicking on access now, we can see that we have reached to the Pabbly Connect's dashboard. Now in this dashboard, just click on create workflow and give this workflow a name. For example, I would like to name my workflow as Google Sheets. Just a second, Google Sheets to Kartra. And click on create. Now we can see that our workflow is open over here. And in this workflow, we have two different windows. First one is trigger window, second one is action window. So triggers and actions are basically those two concepts, those two principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's begin with our trigger window. So the idea here is first we have to get the details or the data of new lead which we are adding in our Google Sheet in Pabbly Connect. Then after that, using Pabbly Connect, we will send that new lead data to Kartra so that we can set up this automation. So whenever we will add a new lead in Google Sheet, using this automation, automatically the same lead will be created in Kartra as well. So let's begin with our process. So here in trigger window, in choose app, we have to search for Google Sheets. Google Sheets it is. And after that, in trigger event, in the drop down, we have to select new or updated spreadsheet row. After selecting a trigger event, Pabbly Connect gave us a webhook URL. Now we will use this webhook URL to make the connection between Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect. Just copy this webhook URL from here and follow the help text given below over here. So after copying the webhook URL, go to your spreadsheet, and after reaching the sheet, we can see extensions over here. Click on extensions, go to add-ons and click on get add-ons. Now as we click on get add-ons, we will reach to Google Workspace Marketplace. And here in search app, we have to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks. Pabbly, Pabbly Connect webhooks. So as you can see, Pabbly Connect webhooks, this add-on is already installed in my Google Sheet. After installing this add-on, just refresh your Google Sheet once. This is a very important step. And after refreshing our Google Sheet, once again we'll go to extension, and this time we can see Pabbly Connect webhooks. This add-on can be seen over here. Just hover on it and click on initial setup. After clicking on initial setup, we can see a dialog box appears in front of us, and it basically asks us for the three things. First is selected sheet, webhook URL and trigger column. So in selected sheet, as we can see that in this spreadsheet, I have only one sheet, that is sheet 1. So in which sheet we are adding the data of new lead, we have to select that sheet over here. So by default, sheet 1 is selected over here. Then it is asking us webhook URL. Now here in webhook URL, we have to paste the same webhook URL which we have copied from Pabbly Connect. Just copy it from there and paste it over here. And at last, it is asking us for the trigger column. Now here you must be thinking, what is this trigger column? So trigger column is basically the last data entry column of our Google Sheet. So guys, as you can see in the background, here the column D will be my trigger column because it is the last column in which my data exists. After column D, in none of the column my data doesn't exist. So column D will be my trigger column. So we will enter D. According to your spreadsheet, according to your data, any column could be your trigger column. Just ensure that it is the last data entry column of your spreadsheet. And after that, just click on submit. After clicking on submit, just go to extensions, Pabbly Connect webhooks and click on send on event. So by selecting send on event, we are telling this spreadsheet, we are telling this Google Sheet that whenever a new data in a new row till our trigger column is added, instantly send that data to Pabbly Connect. So as we add the data by selecting send on event, after adding the data, instantly this add-on Google Sheet will send the data to Pabbly Connect. And now the connection between Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect is completed. Now what we have to do here in Pabbly Connect, we will notice it is showing us waiting for webhook response, which means Pabbly Connect is waiting to get some data of new lead from Google Sheets. So we will enter the details of a dummy lead over here in Google Sheet. For example, dummy name, a dummy email address, and a dummy mobile number. Okay, so just now in our Google Sheet in a new row, we have added the details of a dummy lead. And now because we have connected Pabbly Connect with Google Sheet using the webhook URL, instantly we will see that as we add the details of the new lead, instantly the response is captured in Pabbly Connect. So details of the same lead is now captured in Pabbly Connect. We have the same first name, same last name, same email as well as the same phone number. Which means guys, the connection between Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect is working perfectly fine, and step 1 of setting up this automation is also completed. Now after this, let's move to step 2. So for step 2, we will scroll down and come to our action window. And now we want to add or send this new lead details from Google Sheet to Kartra. So here in action window in choose app, we will search for Kartra. Kartra it is. After selecting Kartra, an action event from the drop-down, we have to select Create Lead because we want to create a new lead in Kartra. Click on Connect and select Add New Connection. Now here guys, we have to connect our Kartra account with Pabbly Connect, and to make this connection, we require the API key and API password of our Kartra account. Now here you must be thinking how we are going to get the API key and API password. So here in my browser, I have already logged into my Kartra account. So this is the dashboard, and at this dashboard on the left side we can see several options, out of which there is an option named as My Integrations. Click on My Integrations over here. After clicking on My Integrations, just click on this API option on top, and from the right side select My API. So as you can see here, we can see the API key or API password of our Kartra account. So this is the password and this is the key. Just copy this API key from here, go to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here. After that, copy this API password, go back to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here. And after entering both of these details, just click on Save to make the connection. And now we can see that the connection is complete. After connecting our Kartra account with Pabbly Connect, it is asking us email, that what is the email address of the new lead which we want to add. So we have added the email address in our Google Sheet, and we have received the Google Sheet response of new lead in Pabbly Connect in our trigger window response. So this is the email address. So we have to basically map this response. We have to basically map this data received from Google Sheet in Pabbly Connect to this action window over here. And the process of mapping is very simple. Simply click on this field, and in the drop down we can see all the responses which we have received from Google Sheets can be seen over here. And out of all of these responses, select the response of email and map it. And we have successfully mapped the email. Now let's map the first name. So we have also received the first name, last name and phone number. So one by one we will map these details over here. Just click on this field, and from the drop down, select the response of first name and map it. And it is done. We haven't received the middle name and it is not required, it is not mandatory. So we are going to just ignore it and we will move to last name. Just click on this field, from the drop down, from responses of Google Sheet, map the last name, and here in phone number field, map the mobile number. So we have successfully mapped the details which we have received from Google Sheets in Pabbly Connect. The details like country code, address, city and other details, we haven't added these kind of details in Google Sheet. That's why we haven't received that response. That's why we can't map these details over here. If you get the details of the new lead with all of these details, add those details in Google Sheet and then capture that response in Pabbly Connect, and you can one by one use the same process of mapping to map all of these details. And after mapping the required details, just click on Save and Send Test Request. After clicking on Save and Send Test Request, we can see that we have received a response over here. And this response seems to be a very positive response to us. This response shows that user whose details we have mapped over here, basically the user the lead whose details we have entered in our Google Sheet, is now successfully added as a new lead in our Kartra account. Let's check it. We'll go to Kartra, we will go to My Memberships. We will go to My Communications. And at this communications page, we can see leads over here. And we can see that dummy name, the same lead whose details we have added in our Google Sheet is now successfully automatically added as a new lead in Kartra, which means the automation which we have created in this video is working perfectly fine. Now guys, after setting up this automation, let's test this automation once. We'll go to a Google Sheet and here in a new row, we will add the details of a new lead. For example, the name is this time test name, test email address, and another test phone number. Okay, so just now in our Google Sheet in a new row, we have added the details of a new lead by the name of test name. And because we have created this automation, we will see that instantly this same lead will be added as a new lead in our Kartra account. So we'll go to Kartra, we'll refresh this leads page once. And yes, we can see that test name, this same lead is now automatically added as a new lead in our Kartra account. The same user whose details we have added in our Google Sheet is now a new lead in Kartra, which means the automation which we have created in this video is working perfectly fine, guys. Now after setting up this automation, let's understand in brief that what are the steps we followed while creating this automation. So first, we have created a workflow in Pabbly Connect, and in this workflow, we have selected Google Sheet as a trigger application, and new or updated spreadsheet row was our trigger event. Then using a webhook URL, we have connected Google Sheet with Pabbly Connect and received the data of new users which we are adding in our Google Sheet in Pabbly Connect. Then using Pabbly Connect, we have sent the data of or the details of new user to Kartra so that we can add that very same user as a new lead in Kartra as well. So not just these applications, guys, you can basically connect plenty of other applications using Pabbly Connect. And guys, one more important thing, you will find the clone link of the same workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can clone the same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and use this workflow for free.
If you need any kind of help or have any queries, you can ask them on forum.pabbly.com, and you can check Pabbly Connect's pricing at this link. So if this video was helpful to you, you can like this video, don't forget to share it with others, and to keep getting such content on automation and integration, you can subscribe to Pabbly. Thank you, have a nice day.